Answers. So in the first one, you are plotting that point that is on our graph. So remember that the points go x comma y. So when you're plotting your points, you're first graphing the x coordinate and then the y. So in that first graph, you go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down 8. Here we go to the right 3 and up 6. 0, 0 is at the origin. And then negative 1, 3 is left 1 and up 3. And then negative 6, 5 is left 6 and then up 5. So there are our points. Okay, we have some new vocab today. We have relations, domain, and range. A relation is a set of ordered pairs. Relations are given in set notation, so you have to have a bracket at the beginning and a bracket at the end. The ordered pairs are listed as x comma y's. We have two types of relations. We have discrete and continuous. Discrete are a random scattering of points, where continuous form a smooth curve or line. A domain is the set of x coordinates. It is the inputs. And then our range is the set of y coordinates or our output. It is the y coordinates or our output. So for the next 4 examples, we're going to graph those relations, identify our domain and range, and then determine if those relations are discrete or continuous. So in that first example, we have 0, 4. So again, we plot our points as x comma y. -2, 3. -1, 3. -2, 2. And 1, -3. Your domain and range never get repeated when you write them in our set notation. You put brackets around them. It's good habit to start on the left and go to the right. So that would be -2, -1, 0, and 1 for your domain. Again, even though -1 repeats up here, or rather -2, we don't repeat it in our set notation. The range is the y values, so that's -3, 2, 3, and 4. This is a discrete relation because the points don't make a smooth curve. Yes. Not today. Okay, number 2, plot your points. So you have -2, 1, -1, 0, 0, 1, and 1, 2. So our domain is -2, -1, 0, 1. My range is 0, 1, and 2. This is a continuous relation because if I look at those points, I can connect them to form a nice smooth graph. And that graph that they connect to form is a representation of an absolute value. So as we progress through this here, that is a V-shaped graph. A V-shaped graph is an absolute value. We can do the inverse of what we just did. So we were given the points as ordered pairs, and then we graphed them. Here, we're given the graphs of the ordered pairs, and we are going to identify and rewrite them as points. So we write our relation as the set of ordered pairs. So that first point's at -4, 4. We have a point at -3, -2, -2, 4, +2, -4, and +3, +2. My domain are my x values. So that's -4, -3, -2, 2, and 3. My range is my y's. So -4, -2, +2, +4, And for this graph, I would say that I could connect these points in a smooth type of curve. So this would be continuous. In the other example, we're going to write down our set of ordered pairs. So that's -3, 2, 0, 1, 2, 4, and then 4, -3, so my domain is -3, 0, 2, and 4. My range is -3, 1, 2, and 4. And if you tried to connect them, it's sort of this funky looking straight line misconnected graph. So this is discrete. And then the last thing we're going to do is look at a mapping. A mapping is a way of creating a relationship with domain and range, but in bubble form. So you write your domain on the left and your range on the right. So my domain in this case is -1 and 1. My range is 3 and 7. And then for the mapping, you draw your arrows from the domain to the range. So what we say is -1 maps to 7. So you draw an arrow from -1 to 7. And then 1 maps to 3. 1 also maps to 7. And -1 maps to 3. In number 6, our domain is 0, 1, 2. My range is 2, 3, and 4. And again, we create a map from the X to the Y. So 0 maps to 2, 1 to 3, and 2 to 4. If in my mapping, the domain value only has 1 arrow, then that indicates a function. Just like when we list domain and range as sets, we do not rewrite a number in our mapping. So in our mapping for number 7, the domain has a 2, a -1, a 0, and then a -2. So even though -1 appears in the domain twice, we don't write it in our mapping twice. In the range, fill in your Y's. So that's 8, 5, and 3. Draw an arrow from your domain to your range. 2 maps to 8, -1 to 5, 0 to 8 again, -1 to 3, and -2 to 3. Your homework is the next 4 problems on that next page.